Hello, I'm here and I'm going to be answering a few of your questions that you've either left me on my YouTube videos or on my Instagram. So, your character's sexuality and maybe a short showcase of your OCs. So, my character's sexuality is straight and my pronouns are she, her. My character is now my little cartoon me that you guys probably see just about everywhere on my profile. It used to be where I would have my other character be the face of my accounts, but I don't really use that character anymore. Probably draw it every now and then just for nostalgia purposes. But other than that, that was just an OC that I portrayed all my trauma and character growth, if you will, onto. And that character I just tried implementing in a different other story, or just a lot of other stories in general, but none of them really fit. And then I made my OCs with the Broken Moon series, but that obviously I just canceled it because I just couldn't keep up with it. Who's my favorite OC that I own? Honestly, it would probably have to be Alador from the Broken Moon series so far. Because, I don't know, I love him because he's evil, but the things that he did were semi in the right spot. And that's where the phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, because what he did was wrong. He was very evil, and then he was kind of manipulative, but he did what he did in order to save his children and in hopes to save his wife, but obviously that didn't work out if you've seen my other videos. What are your characters' favorite thing to do in their free time? Um, probably just work on animation and art and relax and procrastinate like I do. Do I like bobcats? Yes, they're cool. I had a small phase where I wanted to draw them all the time, but of course I sucked at it. Do you have a favorite type of character slash stereotype? If I had to guess, it would probably be the friend that's caring and that puts others above themselves, but they got a short temper. Most likely because I relate to that stereotype a lot. How good would you consider yourself at art slash animation? I know enough. I'm not about to say I'm the best at it, because I'm not. I know enough. Have you always been drawing wolves? Yes, I have actually. That was one of the biggest things that I drew whenever I was little, and what really made me get into comics and animations and everything like that. What are you most confident about in regards to art? If I had to say now, it would most likely be my cartoony style because I'm okay with how I draw animals. I'm okay with how I draw humans now, but I cannot do realistic at all. Like it will have to be cartoony. What's your favorite plant? Honestly, uh I have no clue. Do trees count? Do you remember your very first character? It would probably have to be my old character that I talked about being the face of my accounts. But other than that, probably not. What keeps me motivated? Honestly, I'm a verbal validation person. So anytime I post an animation or I post a picture up on my Instagram and I hear that y'all like my art or y'all like my animation, that I really like that. Like that keeps me going. That makes me motivated to want to be able to post more and share more with you guys. And it doesn't happen all the time. Like not everybody's going to like it, obviously, but I don't know. I That's one of the things that keeps me motivated, but also just the fact that I have a passion for it and that I always want to get better at art and animation. It's it's just in my heart. How do you deal with art block personally? Yeah, I don't. What's your favorite media when it comes to art? Mm, I'm not really sure. It would probably have to be more cartoony animations or something like that, but regardless of the fact that it's cartoony, it's got meaningful things tied into it, like backstory purposes. What's your top three video games slash games in general? That I'm not sure of right now. I'm playing Pokemon Scarlet, but it would probably just have to be the Pokemon franchise, just because I love playing Pokemon. I love the evolutions, and I love Umbreon. Umbreon is my favorite. Um, I like horror games, but I kind of have to be in a mood to play them. And I grew up on the Spyro franchise. whenever I was very, very little. So that place always it's always got a special place in my heart. What is your biggest fan / supporter you know of? Probably my best friend, Anu. They've been there since day one, and for some reason has stuck around with me despite me being a pain in the ass. What's one thing you're proud of when it comes to making art? Probably how much I've improved. Like, back whenever I was little, I could not draw humans at all. I hated it. I hated the way they looked. But now that I've gotten better and somewhat more comfortable with my art style, and I'm not trying to force it to look different than what I'm capable of drawing, then I'm a little bit more satisfied with what I'm actually able to produce. What's your biggest goal for this channel? For me, it's to become like the other Storytime animators, like Illymation, Jaden Animations, Domix, Aerold Story, all those amazing other animators that make story times like that. I want to be able to have a career based off of this, and they were a big step in inspiring me whenever it came to that. And that kind of leads on to the next question of what got me into animation. Me seeing all these other animators that at first I only watched Warriors content, which is an amazing book series if you guys haven't read it. But I always loved watching people read those stories and be able to animate it in life, and the way they made it, it was just so real despite it being digital, and it was awesome. It was amazing. What's your favorite color, and is there a reason for it? I have different colors depending on the mood I'm in. I like dark red a lot, which is why my character has a dark red sweater. And sometimes I'll like dark green or dark blue. And then a lot of the times I'll like dark purple, but sometimes I'll like a light blue. It just really depends on which one I pick to be my favorite color at the time. When did you first realize you wanted to do YouTube? I knew it whenever I was younger, but of course, I just wasn't allowed to have a YouTube channel whenever I was younger. And then whenever I actually started with YouTube, a lot of the things I posted was cringy, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, let's undo that. Who was your biggest inspiration? I think the only animated storytime person I watched whenever I was really younger was Aerold Story and Illymation at the time. So they were one of the people that got me into wanting to do story times. And Illymation was just an amazing inspiration in general. She actually helped me whenever it came to her abusive boyfriend series. That helped me realize that I was getting treated incorrectly in my own relationship. And so that made me get out of that relationship. It pushed me, so to speak, to realize I was getting treated horribly and I needed to get out of there. How long have you been animating and drawing for? I've actually been doing it a few years, but I know the improvement animation meme, it shows that I've only been animating for like 3 or 4 years, but I've been animating long before that. I just couldn't find any other animations that still existed that were older, so I had no choice but to use the only animations that I could come up with at the time. But I've been doing it for a long time. I just deleted a lot of old stuff. What's your favorite thing to draw? I feel like I've already answered this. Probably just whatever I feel like in the moment. What is something you want to learn how to draw eventually? Probably, even though I only really do cartoony figures, it would probably just be anatomy. Like, better anatomy. I can't draw arms. Arms and legs, I can't draw them. I can't draw limbs. Do you have any pets? If so, what kind? Oh my god, I have so many. I shouldn't. So we've got this inside dog. Her name is Lacey. She's very tiny. She was the runt of her litter. I've got my cat, Copper, that I had just recently gotten. And then we've got 4 German Shepherds outside. Yeah, one name's Ellie, one is named Maya, the other 2 is Delta and Chaos, which is kind of funny considering he's really the sweetest one. He just plays a little too rough sometimes. And we do have an older dog. His name is Dallas. He's blind in both eyes, unfortunately, but that just came with old age. What's your favorite kind of cheese? Cheddar and Swiss. Okay, thank you all for all of your questions. I really appreciated it. It gave me something to do. And I don't know, it motivated me a little bit to continue working on my animation and such. It feels nice whenever I know people want to see my content and everything like that. But I will get back to work, and I hope all of you have a nice day/weekend, whatever time I post this.